If you do go on to enjoy today's video, please consider hitting the like button. It really does help the video out, even if I don't deserve it because I'm terrible at video games. And if you want to follow me on Twitter for absolutely no reason, the link for that is down below. And if you do need any coins, head over to u7buystore.com. Use the code TVM at checkout for a discount. The link is in the description. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to the FM Road to Glory. We've had a couple of days off because it's taken me that long to get through the games. Some tricky fixtures in there, a not so great run of form. I think we may have turned it around now, and I think I've got one particular fellow to thank for it. It is a new sign-in. It's a weird sign-in, but we'll talk about him in just a second. Now, the reason I've come back here rather than at the split or even after the split is because we've made it to the Welsh League Cup final. Now, I don't really know an awful lot about the Welsh League Cup and whether you get anything other than a pat on the back for winning it. Like, I genuinely don't know if it has some sort of... I don't even know how you find this out. Competition review? I kind of want the rules to it, really. Or do I want the rules? I don't know. It doesn't look like... Yeah, you literally just get 10,000 for winning it. So we're guaranteed 5,000 for runner-up at the moment, which is fine. We play Flint in the final, which is a team that we are comfortable in beating. Like, we are more than capable of beating them. And yeah, it's essentially just the Welsh equivalent of a League Cup. Now, unfortunately, with the English version of the League Cup, the Carabao, if that's still what it's called, you get European football at the end of it, or at least a qualification process. Welsh League is absolutely nowhere near high enough to be able to get that sort of thing. So unfortunately, we're not going to get European football if we win it. We're just going to get £10,000. But that, to our current financial situation, as you can see, we are minus 34 grand as a club. And I'm even minus £19 transfer budget. I'm on the verge of spending too much money as my wage. We need money. So winning that would be fantastic. If we go back into the schedule, I don't know where we last left off because it's been a while, but we lost 1-0 to TNS. They have turned their season around. They were struggling to get even in the European places. They've completely turned it around, and I'll show you that in a second. I think the turnaround came when they beat us 1-0 as well, which is even more irritating. So we've just beaten Haverfordwest, or not just. We're about to play Haverfordwest in the league, the game before the split. And we beat them 4-0 in that cup. Then we went on a really tricky, annoying run. This is all I've done basically today and yesterday. So, really annoying. Should have beat Bala, didn't. 0-0 against Swansea. They're bottom of the league. Should have beaten them. Bangor 1-1, which is actually not a bad result, to be fair. Should have beat Cardiff Met Uni and didn't. And then had a bit of a confidence booster against Connors Quay because they played a slightly weaker team in the cup because obviously they don't care too much about it, and we beat them 2-0. I played my first team because why not? And okay, maybe one or two little rotation players here or there, but generally speaking, I played my first team, and it was a confidence booster because then in the next game we went on to beat Chem Druids 4-0, and then we played Connors Quay, which at the time was a second to first place, sort of battle. And we drew 1-1, which I didn't think was too bad. The next game, I have no idea what happened. We just completely fell to pieces, and we weren't good enough. We created nothing. The goalkeeper had a couple of howlers, and we lost 4-0. Then in the reverse fixture, away from home, we somehow beat them 2-1. I don't know. But, as you can see there, Matty Virtue, who is our new sign-in. Look at the state of him. He is so good. The problem with him is he's not going to be with us long because he's retiring at the end of the season. The 3rd of July, which is very strange, instead of the 1st or the 2nd. So the 3rd of July this year now, within the next 7 months, he is retiring. He's only 26. The reason for that is because when I signed him, he was just coming off a leg break. And I'm guessing that, obviously that's something that can happen in Football Manager, especially lower down. If you get like a leg break in a Premier League player, it's not as big of a deal. I mean, it still can happen, but it doesn't happen as often as if it does in the non-leagues or in like leagues like this where you know, that they're unlikely to ever really get out of this league because they're not good enough. I think he probably is good enough for a League 2 team, maybe. But I tried to convince him to sort of not retire. But he wasn't having any of it, and he retired. Now, he plays in the centre of midfield, and he's played 4 games for us. He's got 2 goals and 1 assist from centre mid. Now, the team is actually pretty impressive at the moment, if I do say so myself. Orford and Clough up front, they love it. Redmond has been pushed out to the left-hand side. He was centre mid, of course, for us. And he's been doing all right there. 4 goals, 5 assists, as you can see down the bottom, in 16 games, 13 of which have been in the league. He's playing now as a left winger. Doesn't have the pace to play there anymore, unfortunately. But the reason I want to do it is because Virtue can't really play much of anywhere else. So it's either that or holding role, and it's a bit of a waste to have him as a holding player. So he is literally a centre mid. He gets a little bit of free roam. He can go up here and do stuff. And Hawthorn is actually like the best performing player in training every single week. So I think it's only a matter of time before someone actually comes and offers him a contract. But yeah, we'll see what happens. The team in general looks decent. It's not amazing, but I think it's good enough to challenge TNS at the top of the table. The problem that I've had recently is that run of form. I'm looking for my... Oh no, that is my normal right back. I don't know why. It just didn't look right. Yeah, the run of form ruined it because we were out in front and we were leading, we were clear. The run of form brought us back down to earth, and now all of a sudden we find ourselves second behind TNS. In fact, if we go back and have a look at this here, league positions, started off obviously one of the top teams on Alphabet, and then when we won, we went top, and we stayed top for so long, and then we dipped down, we went back up to first, we dipped down to third, and we've just managed to get ourselves back up to second after that win over Newtown. But it is very frustrating that we now find ourselves 5 points adrift of TNS, and they are a very, very difficult team to topple. We were given a lifeline at the beginning of the season when they lost 3 very quick games back to back to back, and one of them was against us. And then they started slipping, they were drawing, they were losing, and we managed to get ahead of them. Unfortunately, we didn't keep that momentum going, and that's kind of left us in this situation that we're in right now, where we are playing catch-up to TNS. Hopefully, though, we can beat Haverfordwest, put the pressure back on, and after the split, have a really good go at challenging for the title. But before we do any of that, we have a cup final to play. So I'm fully aware that there is a massive fitness issue here. It's not really, though. It looks a lot worse than it is. The reason it looks this bad is because I've rested the players for one day in order to try and get the fitness up to a level where I'm happy. There is one fitness concern, and that is Redmond, who apparently isn't fully fit to play. He's going to start. I need to keep the pressure on TNS. We need to win. We have no option but to play him. I'm just looking. Yeah, Sam Edwards is on the bench. Now, Sam Edwards is, or was, my left wing. But because Virtue came in, Redmond has gone up. Now, Virtue is on, what is he on, £250 a week. He's a very good player. He's far better than we deserve. The reason I think he came to us is because no one else was going to touch him because he was injured at the time. He was out for 3 weeks when we signed him. I got him at the very beginning of December. He's only played since January the 3rd, I think, because obviously I couldn't register him either, but he was injured and he'd already decided he was going to retire. So nobody wanted to touch him, which makes perfect sense. I thought, if I can get 7 months out of him, I'm happy. You know, because there was a chance that he was going to come in. He wasn't going to recover from his injury. He wasn't going to be very good. He was going to go on the decline and even get injured again, because that's happened to me plenty of times. When you sign a player who's injured and they're just coming off the back of a fairly long-term injury, and then within one training session, and you don't ease them in properly, they're injured straight away again. So there was that risk, but, you know, for the sake of £250 a month for 7 months, I was willing to take that risk just purely because of how good he is in the midfield and how much he can influence the outcome of this season. Because not only is winning that cup in a week's time very important to my profile, but going on and challenging TNS and even toppling TNS for the league is not going to go unnoticed. And that is something that I kind of need if we're going to progress out of Wales, because the only other thing to do is to kind of say, well, as we go 1-0 down, is to kind of think, well, Wales isn't doing anything for us. It's never going to. We've started here, but I think we just need to get out and go anywhere we can to a major league setup and try and make a name for us there, because it's not going to work. Even winning the league and against TNS, we're not going to get a championship or a Premier League job. We're still looking at like League 2 at most. So, yeah, we'll see what happens, but we need to do as well as we can do. There's Virtue ball through to Orford, who's missed an absolute sitter, and that is the problem with Orford, unfortunately. He is not that great. I tell you what, Sadio Berahino, he is available, and he will not enter into contract discussions with me. It's really annoying. He's 30 years of age, obviously he's homegrown, so wouldn't have a problem getting any sort of work permit because he's not English anymore. I think, is it Nigerian or something? But either way, he will not discuss a contract with me, which makes perfect sense. He's coming from like a League 1 side. It makes sense, but it is really annoying because him and Zach Clough up front would be glorious to watch, but unfortunately he doesn't want to know. If only he knew that I would take him with me wherever I went, and he would be my golden boy. But there we are, it is what it is. Ball played over the top by Virtue. Jones, the fullback, plays a good ball into the box. Redmond's there, and unfortunately it's a good save from the goalkeeper. We're starting to put on a little bit of a show here, and we're trying to get back into this game. We have been in good form in the last 3 games or so. What a ball to Clough, and he's missed a sitter again. My strikers need the cane, I think. We need to go out and get a new cane as Orford nods it over the bar, and we need to try and discipline them. I think, what's happening? TNS 47 points. Is that only a point? Are they drawing right now? Ball played in. McCarthy. I was going to say Connor McCarthy. No, not him. McCarthy gets it clear. I feel like we're going to concede again here. Just over the bar. Haverfordwest have been terrible against us in every single game we've played for the last 2 seasons, maybe even 3 seasons. Well, we didn't play them in the first one, but they've been awful. Like, we've never really struggled, and it would be, while we're in form, we've come back and we're in trouble. Orford scores, and he's onside. That's his 16th goal of the season. Danny Redmond with the assist. Danny Redmond is a great signing, and I really hope that he comes back to bite TNS in the backside, because they released him on a free, and that's how we managed to sign him. He's probably a little bit too good for us because we don't have the European football that obviously attracted him to TNS in the first place. So it would be beautiful if we could use him against TNS, and he's one of the reasons why we actually managed to topple his former club. I'm asking a lot, though, because we're not that good. Davis gets it clear. Redmond with a great header. Orford plays it through, and there goes Clough, who's not been playing well recently, and he's done it again. I mean, knock it across the keeper. Take it around the keeper. Don't try and chip the keeper when you're about 2 yards away from him. Ball in from the corner, and that's something that we've not been very good at. And to be fair, it's not something I've set up for, which is a little bit surprising and a little bit disappointing from my point of view, as Orford misses a sitter, but he did look offside. I've not set up for corners. I played one game. Well, I played loads of games, but I've played one game in particular, and we drew it 0-0, and I think it was the game... I think it was against Connors Key, actually. We played very well in that game. But I went all-out attack around the 50th minute, because I thought, you know what, I've had enough. And it was 1-1, and I threw everything at them. We went 4-2-3-1, ultra-attacking, and we were just... it was all over the place, right? We were just throwing everything at them. We finished that game with 19 corners, and we didn't score 1 goal from a corner. It was shocking. Like, if you'd watched that Brentford save that I did, if we'd had 19 corners with Brentford, we would have scored, I don't know, bare minimum 7 goals. Like, just without a shadow of a doubt. Not because they're better players, but just because we were set up for it. We don't have anyone in this team who can head the ball, really. Not even the centre-backs are very good at doing it. Aberystwyth have got a goal back. There is some hope. Redmond smashes the ball against the wall. Orford goes after it. I am going to concede here, I think. So we're going to encourage the boys ready for when we do concede. Ball played back to Davidson. They're just looking for that long killer ball through the middle. It's coming. Oh, intercepted. Hughes gets it to Clough. Orford through the middle. This is why he's in the team. Just that pace. He's not going to do anything with it. But it was just the fact that he's got through on goal. We didn't have that before. Hawthorne! Oof. That was close, but not close enough. As I've paused it, TNS go 4-1 up. We're not going to catch them, are we? We would need to beat them twice after the split to close the gap, and then we can't afford to lose any game, and we kind of need to hope that they slip up once more as well. We're asking a little bit too much, so I don't think we're going to win the league, unfortunately. I don't really know what to do here. Do I take... I mean, Redmond could do with coming off, and to be fair, did say beforehand he wasn't fit. I'm looking past my microphone. Sam Edwards to come on for Redmond then. Or... Clough can go on the right. Hawthorne can go on the left. Clough can go on the right. Yeah, that's what I meant. And then Winter Coles can come on for Redmond. I like it. Virtue is going to go on attack duty through the middle because that's going to just scare the living daylights out of the defence for Haverfordwest. And we are going to go for it with a bit of positivity as well. Wood with a free kick. Plays it in, goalkeeper's in no man's land, and we managed to get it clear. The goalkeeper came for it, and he really didn't need to. Nowhere near it. Fire them. I was going to fire them up. There's no need to do it now. Jones plays it in, and Orford absolutely smashes it home. Now, I'm going to go back to balanced, and I am going to move Virtue into support duty rather than attack duty just because I don't want to be caught out in the middle. I'm not going to go like shut up shop or anything. It's just not that deep. But I might bring on... Can Charlie Williams defend? Not really. McGrath is still injured for me. So I might bring on Evans and I might bring on Ty Fleming for Jones just because he doesn't really get to play that often and he always moans at me that he doesn't get to play. But we should be able to see this out now. We are good enough. We have a corner. Evans with it. Whips it in. Oh, dear. Oh, I mean, you can just... I can just see it coming. I can see it coming. And there it is. Oh, I hate it, man. I'm so annoying. Hate this game. Can we kick off them? That would be beautiful. I'm going to go and put Virtue on attack duty again. Because I think we need to utilise our best player. I need to run him into the ground the next 7 months. He is injury prone. That is offside, I think. So it's not going to count on the rebound either. It was close. Nice idea from Winter Coles. I tell you what, a draw is bad, but a defeat is absolutely horrific. Davidson with the free kick. And we've lost the game. Oh, I mean, I don't think I've ever lost to Haverfordwest. Not just in this save, but ever. And we've come back on a good run of form and lost. And it's always the way. I'm not even watching it. We're going to lose that cup final against Flint as well. They're awful. Like, we just don't lose to Flint. And I will lose to them because I'm doing it live. If I did it off camera, it would be fine. So that's the league gone, in my opinion. We can still fight for these European places. And to be fair, if we weren't to get one of those two, I'd willingly resign because we are good enough and we are far better than the teams around us at the moment, apart from TNS, to be taking one of those European spots. That's annoying. I'm irritated, but we have to focus all our attention now on that cup final against Flint Town in 6 days' time. So, on the anniversary, is it anniversary? I don't think it is. The milestone of my 100th game in charge, that's what I was looking for, we have a cup final, our very first cup final. Now, this won't mean an awful lot to anyone apart from me, but I think this could be, I wouldn't say like super significant to the point where if we don't win this, it's going to change everything, or if we do win this, it's going to change everything. But I've got a feeling that if we beat Flint Town here and we pick up this trophy, that it would have a far better impact and more of an impact than if we don't win it, right? It can only be a good thing. First trophy, I would like... Don't Zach Clough and Redmond look basically the same? I would very much like to win this. Like, if I don't win this, I think I will genuinely be annoyed. I'll be more annoyed than not beating Haverfordwest. Like, throwing away that lead in the league, that point gap that we made at the top of the table, it was bad, right? And it's irritating and I'm upset about it. But losing this would be even more annoying in my opinion, because we know we can beat Flint, and we've done it on nearly every occasion. The most recent fixture between the two, we beat them 2-0. So there's no reason why we shouldn't beat them. Touch wood. I can't believe I just said it. But yeah, I very much want it. The other thing that has happened in the save since since the last episode that I forgot to say was the Welsh job, the national job, became available. Naturally, I applied for it and I was turned away. So the next time they come for me, because, you know, next time that job will be available is probably going to be in about 4 years after we've left this club and won maybe a league or two with another team or with this team. And I apply, or rather they come for me and say, hey, do you want the job now? I'm going to say no. And I'm going to take the Irish job or the Scottish job because that's what I'm all about. What a very weird... I'm joking, by the way. I would take it in a heartbeat. What a very strange highlight this is. It looked like we were going to score. Then it looked like they were going to score. And now it looked like we were going to score. And now the goalkeeper has the ball again. And it's nearly half-time. And now it looks like we might score. Virtue plays the ball to Clough. Good ball through to Orford. He has to put this away. Oh, I mean, when he scores, obviously. That makes me so happy and annoyed at the same time. You know why? Because I'm happy, obviously, we're now winning in the cup final, and it's a really good finish. Why am I annoyed by that? Because why doesn't he do that all the time when he has a one-on-one? He puts it wide, he kicks it against the keeper, he tries to chip the keeper elaborately when he's far too close. It's really irritating that he is not consistent. That's the word I'm looking for there. He's not consistent enough in front of goal. But that aside, that's for another day. We are 1-0 up and we have a corner. Redmond plays it in. It's come out to Jones. What a very excellent turn. Redmond on the edge. There's Hudson, which is the centre-back, of course. Not the character from Aliens. Here's Virtue. Great ball through to Orford. And he scores, but he's offside. So there's that. That's a shame. That is a shame. He did look offside, but my brain didn't really react to it. He is, but it's close. It is close. 2-0 would have been very nice. That would have been nearly game, set, match, I think. Ball played over the top. 50 minutes. One more goal in this game to us, not to them, obviously, would calm the nerves and make me believe a little bit. I think we've been in control. We didn't look like we were going to concede at any point, really. Here's Virtue. With Clough, Hawthorne, there's... Oh, Virtue's through the middle. I mean, he's not going to miss. If you can get Virtue into a goal-scoring position, he's actually more consistent and better than the strikers are. Virtue with a goal, and he kind of half-started the move in the middle as well. Look at that run through the middle. Absolutely fantastic. Reminds me of that... I can't remember his name. Plays for Monaco. Can't remember, central midfield player. He used to do that to me all the time when I played against them in the Champions League when we were with Brentford. And I could never have a player who could replicate that sort of run. Milinkovic-Savic came close, but that was good. 20 minutes left on the clock. I've just praised the boys. We have a highlight. I was going to make a change, but I'm waiting for the highlight to be over. McCarthy down this left-hand side. Skins his man. He's brought another player over. There's like 4 around him. Ball in. Virtue on the edge. He's having a game and a half, isn't he? Good. I mean, well... What? Jared Wright has scored an own goal. They've conceded an own goal. I don't really know what happened there. Virtue had it on the right. Did he go for goal or was it a bad cross? I'm not sure what happened, and that is very unfortunate. Not the worst own goal I've seen in recent times in FM, believe it or not. I can't remember who it was, but they smashed it into their own goal. It was laughable. And if I can find it, I will show it to you after this, but I can't remember who it was against. It was fairly recently. Who do I have here? Let me move the microphone so I don't have to keep moving my head, because that is awkward. Charlie Williams, don't want to bring on Virtue. I didn't put the player that I can't remember the name of on the bench for the CDM position, so I'm thinking... nope, can't take him off because I've got no... What do I do? I've got no centre... I've got no centre-back, I've got no right-back, and those are the ones that are playing the worst. Caleb Hughes can come off, but I didn't bring my CDM. So, I will bring on Charlie Williams for Hughes because why not? I'm actually going to tell Virtue to run through the middle attackingly. And is attackingly a word? Could take Clough off and bring Winter Coles on, so I will. We're 3-0 up with 20 minutes to go. I am content that we are good enough to win this game. If they score from kickoff, I may... Oh, Solanke. I may cancel those substitutions and change Virtue back to support role. But Solanke, by the way, used to play for us, and he gave me proper attitude, and it actually allowed me to get rid of him and get him off the wage so that we could bring Clough into the team and Redmond, because we needed money, and Solanke was on £100 and something a week. Godfrey's about to be sent off here. Flint have had the worst cup final you can ever imagine. An own goal, a red card, and they lose in 3-0. I was hoping that was going to go in so I could go 4-0, but it didn't happen. Williams at the back with Virtue, who's for some reason at the back. There's Jones into Hudson. Winter Coles looking to play it around the corner. Hawthorne out to Redmond, nodded down to Orford, and I think he was offside anyway. Yeah, he probably was. I think we've done it, lads. I think we've just won ourselves a cup. Sam Edwards for Redmond. Give him a break because we do still have a league to play. I don't know when the next league game is. I think we do have a little bit of a break now. It's the break that last year I forgot to arrange friendlies for, so I need to remember to do that. But I think we are home and hosed, as they say. That marks the first cup piece of silverware in my managerial trophy cabinet, and I'm very happy to say that it was with this club as well, because I honestly didn't think we would be... What has happened to his waist? I didn't think we would be able to win a cup, to be fair, because I never really do well in domestic trophies. I do fairly well in European trophies, and the league is always notoriously difficult to win, and it doesn't look like we're going to do it now, and I think I will probably end up moving on at the end of the season. So it's good to pick that up, and we're still in the other cup as well, which I believe is the equivalent of like the FA Cup, but it's like the Welsh. Anyway, we're still in that as well, so we have chances to pick up more silverware, but that was fantastic. What a performance. I've found that own goal. So it was against Cardiff Met Uni. The game was 0-0, and then this happened. Yeah, it's going to load. And then, of course, we conceded in the 89th to draw the game 1-1. But this was unreal. So Redmond takes a shot here, hits the bar, and then what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? That was crazy. I can't believe he actually, he just smashed it. He's trying to put it out for a corner, but he's got so much time. He can take a touch. He can put it in out for a throw. No, he tries to put it over his own goal for a corner and scores an absolute worldie. So, apparently there is no break. We play a cup game in a week against Colwyn Bay, the Welsh Cup 4th round, and then we play TNS, which is huge, because if we don't win that game, it's over. There is absolutely no way we can win the league, because TNS won't lose more than, say, 2. It's annoying, but it is the way it is, right? So we need to beat TNS there, we need to beat them there, and we need a very good run of form in the other games if we're going to have any chance of winning the league. If we lose, it's fine. I'll just skip to the end. Obviously, I'll play it, but I'll go through it as quick as I can, and we'll see where we are at the end of the season. This Welsh Cup, then. So, what happens? Competition review? No, I don't want that. What do I want? Past winners, records, stats, overview, stages, rules. Is there a thing? So, the winner only gets 5,000, but you get qualification. No, what? That's the 4th round rules. Okay, so final. Winner qualifies for the UEFA Europa Conference League first qualifying round. So, I would be annoyed if we don't get that automatically in the league. But if we don't, we could go through it this way by winning the cup. I'm almost certain that didn't happen. And I didn't accidentally read it wrong or anything. I'm pretty sure that isn't the case for the final of this. No, so this is literally just 10 grand, which is, man, you get more money for winning that than you do for the other one, I think, if I remember correctly. But the league looks like this. We are 3rd, only a point clear of Bangor and 1 point off Connors Quay, but we are 8 points adrift of TNS. So if we beat them twice, we're still going to be 2 points adrift, and we would need them then to lose another game, and we need to win every game. So it's almost impossible to win the league, but I'm going to try my best. If not, 2nd or 3rd is going to be the target, and a realistic one at that as well. that is going to do it. Oh, we don't have to play Aberystwyth either, which is nice. That is going to do it for today's episode, though. So if you have enjoyed it, please do me a favour and hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel for new, and until the next time, goodbye.